Hello YouTube. Today we got a Samsung 880Z np880z5e. So that's a Z, it's not 2. Z like zebra. Alright. So let's see if we can see what the problem is. The problem is you see those two pins, you shouldn't be able to see those two pins. There should be a round circle. If there is no round circle and you see the two pins, that means the jack is broken. Alright, so we provide the mail-in service and the walk-in service. So if you're local, stop by. All of the rates are flat rates, so if you fix it, we charge you. If you don't, we don't. Should I zoom in a little bit? Here, zoom in like that, yeah. I guess I should open up from the front. Oh wow, it's an i7. I guess that's gonna be a frequent visitor here in the future, because the laptop is relatively expensive. And I like Samsungs a lot. I mean, Samsungs are much better laptops than pretty much anything else out there. I mean, obviously Apple is even better and more expensive, but alright, so when you pull out this guy right here, when you're pulling out this cable, make sure not to damage this piece right behind it. Once you damage that, there is no way to solder it in place, because it's where is that? Right there. Because once it breaks, you're done. So just try to kind of unplug the battery from this end, but not to, because when you pull it, you're probably gonna wipe out this guy right there. So kind of try to pry it a little bit from both sides, like that, and remove the battery like that. Alright? So, let's see. You know what, the desk is a bit filthy. Let me clean it up a little bit. Alright, so now that the desk is clean, I just don't like to inhale all of the dust from the laptops. Alright, so here we see right away somebody screwed up on removing the hard drive properly, because there is the, right there you can see how the cable is unstuck on the angle, so that means maybe once they put it all back together, the hard drive not gonna get recognized. So the proper way is not to touch it at all, just leave it in there, right? So let's continue trying to disconnect everything little by little. So the first thing is we need to remove the battery. We got a screw right here. Another screw right there. Can you see it? Yeah. Ready? Now we got the two screws here, and we got two screws right here as well, and one right there. Okay. Now Now this cable is inside the groove right here, so we might wanna right this guy a little bit that way and move this thing like that and out. Okay, all right, like that, and we have to help it a little bit like that and like that. All right, so once this is out, we can probably, oh, one more right here, like that, and I'm gonna set it outside. All right, so like that, and we remove this thing outwards. So you see how the cable, well, maybe they didn't bend it too much, so let's disconnect this cable. There is no damage to anything here, so I just want to close that hinge. Set that cable to the side. We want to disconnect, is it auto-focusing? It's not auto-focusing, okay. I want to disconnect this guy. Kind of help it out a little bit. Come on, yep, wonderful. Alrighty, and guide it outwards. You have to remove this wireless card. Alright, set it aside. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws for the fans. Alright, so make sure not to drop those screws into the fan, because you might short the motherboard in the future. Alright, so here's what next. So let's disconnect. So you have to pull on this thing upwards, and you want to put on this thing right here to the side a little lever like that, and a little lever right there, like that. So, okay. Alright, so now that this is out, we just have to unscrew the screws. Let's see, can you see everything here? So one right there, one right here, alright, one right there. Yeah, the camera did take that one. One right here. And I think that's all I can see. Maybe there is something under the heatsink, but before we even gonna get to there, we have to replace this guy. I mean, remove the keyboard cable right here, just upwards like that. Then we have the touchpad. And this thing is probably for the fingerprint recognition thingy. I'm taking the hinges from this side, probably, right? Yeah, like that. Alright, so set this aside. Now let's see what else we have to disconnect here. Alright, so maybe there are screws under the heatsink, I don't know. We will see. No, there is nothing there. Careful. Alright, and voila. So again, our rates are cheaper. For right now it's 60 bucks if you send it just the motherboard. That's the reason I show you those videos, so you can safely remove everything and not damage anything. When you're packaging this thing, don't drop it too much, because this thing can move around. Just make sure nothing gonna get damaged when you send us the board. Alright, so let me show you how the jack looks like at this time. Looks like that. You see the whole damage. You can probably see the damage here. But we're gonna put it vertically. Well, anyways, the jack is broken. Let me go find this replacement jack for it. Okay, so it's at an angle like that. Alright, give me 1 second. Alrighty, so I found the replacement jack. Here. That's how it looks like. You see, there is the black hole right there, the black circle that's supposed to hold the pins together that are broken on this thing. Let's see, can we stabilize it? No, we can't. Well, anyways, you got the point. You see those two, the circle is here, but there is no circle in there. Now, in order for me to replace this whole thing, I need to insulate the motherboard with the Kapton tape, which you can probably buy from the link below. I'm not sure if I have any sponsorship there yet, but here, like that and like that. I think good job. Alright, so my concern is this component right there, because sometimes it gets blown off the motherboard. This guy right here. This one, the one I insulated. So you have a black piece right there. Make sure there is a tape firmly pressed in, because it has tendencies to come off the motherboard and then you would never be able to power it up. So when you're working on the laptop yourself, make sure that you will not get this. I'll just put double tape on it because tape is cheap, but I would spend a lot of time trying to get this thing to work afterwards. Alright, so that plastic right there always melts as well, right here. Right here, this plastic right here. Always melts down, but it's no big deal. It's not really that useful. Nobody uses LAN connections anymore. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some flux right here, here, and there. Then I'm gonna add some solder, the new solder. This is probably silver based solder right there. Mine is rosin core, which kind of raises, kind of lowers the melting temperature. So once my solder mixes with the silver bearing solder, with the silver based solder, the melting point gonna go down, and I would be able to easily, using the hot air station, just drop it down from the motherboard. That way I don't use too much soldering iron right here to desolder these connections. I just use hot air that's just gonna drop it down. Then I'm gonna clean those holes with the soldering wick. Again, the link for the soldering wick should be probably below, might not be there. Depends how everything is being placed. So yeah, let me show you how this is going to be done. Here. Let's power up the exhaust. Alright, so let's just add some flux. And now we're gonna add some solder. Alright, so that's the final product. You probably saw that I was adding more solder to this component right here and on the other side as well, because when you wiggle this jack up and down, the surface mounted components that conduct the plus from here down to here, they lift off from the motherboard and they sometimes do not conduct anything anymore. So I just added more solder just to make sure that once the client receives it back, there won't be any possible complaints, because those two surface mounted components are not on the surface sitting properly. So let's put it all back together. There is remaining plastic pieces from the previous broken jack. Let me flip this thing over. Alright. By the way, one thing I forgot to do, I wanted to check to make sure that the electricity is being conducted. Yep. Alright, that's good. Conducted and nothing is shorting. That's a really important part of the whole equation. So we send this guy like that. Alright. Then we send things like that. Like that. Like that. Like that. Okay, so the hollow lines right here, hollow lines right there. And we are golden. Alright. So first thing we need to do is this guy right here connects like that. Alright, let's put, you know what, I wanted to connect the keyboard cable first, because it's kind of the most out of this world. It needs some leverage for the board to flex up and down. Easier said than done. It probably would be much better to connect it while the board is out of here, but yeah, not easy. Okay, so let's see, maybe we can kind of push this cable upwards a little bit. Alright, make sure it's perfectly aligned inside. And now we want to close it down. Alright, like that. This is all the way out, this is all the way out. Alright. shoot. Hold on. Just I need to connect this guy. Now I hope they didn't damage it from turning too much. You see how those two dents right there? So hopefully this is gonna be alright. Make sure it's all the way in. Close this thing down. And that thing going like that. And like that. Wonderful. Alright. Okay. And we have to guide this wire through right here, like that, like that, and like that. Wonderful. Okay, good job. Okay, looks good to me. I have no more screws left except the screws for the bottom. Now what we want to do is we connect the battery, and now we don't touch the motherboard at all. We're just gonna put the cover from the bottom like that, and press it in. Alright, let's go. Good job. Alrighty, let's flip it over and let's connect the power supply. Alright, so the power supply checks out. And let's see. And we got a green light right there. And we got something on the screen showing that it's charging, I assume, right? So we disconnect it. Goes out, plug it back in. Green light right there, turns to orange, and again we got something on the screen showing that it's charging. Press the power button, and we got all boot options at right because there is no hard drive inside. Thank you so much for watching. If you want us to fix your laptop, we are at powerjackrepair.org. Send it in or stop by. Thank you. Leave a like. Have a good day. Thanks. Bye.